I told my family I dropped out of grad school and was working night shifts at a gas station because I couldn't handle the pressure. And then I waited to see who would still answer my calls. The truth was I had just signed the final paperwork to sell a tech startup I'd been secretly building for 4 years, but I was tired of being the family investment plan, the reliable son who paid for emergencies, fixed laptops, brick wall. My startup had just been acquired, and I was now majority owner of the building as part of the deal. They stepped out of their cars confused, my brother already smiling like he guessed I'd bounce back, my aunt whispering that she always believed in me. I greeted them in a suit they'd never seen before and handed Rafi a small envelope first. Inside was a contract naming him operations manager for a new print and design studio I was funding on the ground floor, plus a check big enough to clear his student loans. He stared at me like I'd switched languages, and I told him I hadn't forgotten who showed up with a duffel bag. Then I turned to the rest of them and said I hadn't actually lost anything except patience. I told him I wanted to know who saw me as a person and who saw me as a paycheck, who would offer a couch and who would offer a lecture. My dad tried to laugh it off and said of course they would have helped if things were really serious, and my brother clapped me on the back asking when we could talk about refinancing his car at a better rate now that I had connections. I stepped aside and let security keep the entrance closed, explaining that tonight's event was private and for partners only. My aunt protested that families should always be included, and I agreed, adding that inclusion works both ways. I told my brother I would no longer be co-signing anything, told my dad that access to my accounts was not mentorship, and told my mom that I'd found discipline just fine without a spreadsheet. I wasn't cruel, just clear. I said if they wanted a relationship with me, it would have to exist in seasons where I had nothing to offer but myself. Until then, the rooftop doors would stay shut. Rafi stood beside me holding his envelope like it might disappear, and when the elevator doors finally closed on the rest of them, the city lights reflected in the glass made everything feel quiet and sharp. My phone exploded with messages before I even got downstairs. Jokes about how they knew I was exaggerating, comments about being dramatic, sudden declarations of pride, but I left them unread because I learned something simple. If you only respect me when I'm winning, then you never respected me at all, and the next time I say I'm struggling, it won't be a test, it'll just be silence.